Welcome to the Gigs Podcast. This is our segment, Ask Gigs, where I am answering the questions that are written in by our Gigs community, the live event touring industry. So let's get into it. Any tips for managing the physical toll of touring? Being in shape and being in touring shape are so different. Like, it is so physical, but I think so much of the physical stamina is also mental. So if you're like coming in on the third show of this run, first of all, you're so not going to be in shape. You got to do like a few runs to like actually get there. I feel like when I sub, like I'm the worst. I'm like, holy shit, I forget that. It's so mental. So much of your physical is very mental. So if you come in and roll in and you're like, man, I don't want to be here. I'm tired. My body hurts. You're going to start feeling worse. And so I would just say insane, wild optimism, like toxic optimism, and you really will get through it, because as soon as you start being negative or critical or whatever it is, like your body's just going to give up on you. So toxic positivity is what I like to do for myself, but obviously like eating protein and drinking enough water and electrolytes, stretching, all that good stuff. But like, I got so excited for every dessert in every city, like whatever the dessert would be or whatever. Like, I am such a sugar person. That is what I would always gravitate towards. Oh, I can't eat lunch. Well, I'm just going to have like this big ass dessert that'll give me like some quick energy. And then by the end of the day, I feel like shit and I wonder why. How do you mentally reset when your body is done, but the show still has to go on? Take 5 minutes to breathe, go to the bathroom. Maybe if you have time, like do a quick little body shower, but like you kind of just have to suck it up. What's the best way to keep your mind and body stable when you're exhausted and everything's changing? Find something that makes you feel good, actually. Like, some people it might be scrolling on social media. Some people it might be like reading a book. Like for me, after like running, loading in all day, I had a tiny window before doors, and like maybe 20 minutes I would go in, I would kind of shower off, I would change clothes, I would like just be alone. I would tell people on my team like, hey, my radio's off for these 20 minutes. If you need me, call my phone. But like, this is my quiet time. So that was like my time to kind of mentally reset, get in a good place, and then doors, and then you're working for like another 12, 16 hours. You know what I mean? Like crazy. But if you have your thing, like FaceTiming a family member or like eating a piece of cake, whatever it is, man, do that thing that grounds you to get you going. So knowing you have to work like seriously in another like 8 to 10 hours, you got to do that thing. But again, the more you do it, the more in shape you're going to get. And physically in shape is so different from touring shape. So much of it is mental. The more you do it, the better you're going to get at it. How do you build the stamina you need to survive this industry long term? You do not prepare for this. Like, obviously, you could try to get in some physical shape. That would definitely help, because you're kind of doing a half marathon every day, every show day, depending on your job. But you build it by going through it. Again, like that first run back out on tour after maybe you had like 2 months off, you're going to freaking feel it mentally, emotionally, physically. That stamina is built by doing. And just kind of like you get out of rehearsals and you have to do a few runs. You have to do like a good bit of shows to like be in the rhythm with this new set that you're working with, and maybe new crew. Like, it's just going to take some time. Don't be hard on yourself, or be hard on yourself. I don't know, whatever works for you. But, you know, give yourself some grace that it will come. Don't decide that you hate the job right away, because you're going to start liking it. I promise. Do you have any rituals to help you recover even when your schedule makes it impossible? Well, what I would do is I would sleep for like 17 hours on an off day. So the people who have families and are married and come home to children, oh my God, hats off to you, because my ritual was sleep. And I had no responsibilities. So the people who come home and then have to spring back into action and be a mom or a dad or a husband, wife, whatever it is, or have a job they come back to, a full-time job they come back to, like, I would love to know. Maybe it's getting a massage. Maybe it is a yoga class. Maybe it's whatever that rest looks like. But the rest is necessary, or you're going to be an asshole on the road. So get some sleep, man. I tell you what. Can we talk about what happens to your body on the road? Like, I know so much of my body would hurt. And it totally depends on the different positions that you hold. But like, I remember I was in production and dressing rooms and all these, obviously it's a very physical job, but after like 3 shows, my hands, I would come home and my hands would hurt. I wouldn't be able to like close them. They'd be so inflamed. You know, you have the different like altitudes and different pressures with the bus and the planes. And I would just like, my hands would hurt so much. And dude, I wasn't even putting stages together. I can't even imagine. When does that get normal? Like, when does your body actually like get cool with it all? Maybe it doesn't ever, and you just like learn how to live with it. But I remember like my hands would be so fucked up. But yeah, man, I would get like a Theragun, you know, the like massage gun, electrolytes, stretch, use like a lacrosse ball to roll out your legs. Like, if you don't take care of your body at all, like any kind of recovery. Like this is a sport. Touring should be a sport, man. I tell you what. Please follow us, gigs.live. Give us a 5-star review, please. Really helps us out. 5-star on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Follow us on gigs at gigs.live on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, all the things. And if you're not a gigs member already, if you're working in the live event industry, go to gigs.live, become an employer and post jobs and find great people, or become a professional by joining as a professional and find your next gig. We got some crazy comments on our post about, talking about how touring is basically a human endurance test. And I kind of want to just share some of these cool comments. Amir Darer, AK Official, said, I always love it when friends come on tour. And after 2 to 3 days, they're like, fuck this. I don't know how you guys do this. Yeah, man. You gotta experience it to know how hard it is. Facts on facts on facts. I once had to go to Vegas, to LA, to Vegas, to Saudi Arabia, to Dubai, to Vegas with different performances in each location within 1 week. If you know, you know. Nothing but love and respect to all the touring brothers and sisters on and off this stage. Damn, Melvin Jones. My God. Lady Nicole Ray said, having little ones is hard. It's definitely a sacrifice. We do it over and over again for you. Deet Chatham said, just returned from 2 Australia gigs, 2 Japan gigs, 3 Hawaii gigs, 4 Seattle gigs, and 1 long-ass LA gig. I am now home. Or am I? Yeah, dude, that's crazy. Will Blade said, I once flew from SF to Ethiopia for 5 days of gigs and workshops, flew back to San Francisco, 32 hours home, and home for 2 hours, loaded up my Hammond and went to a gig like it was nothing. Probably went to my church gig the next morning and then took my kids to school. Power to you, brother. That is so freaking cool. I love this industry so much. John Sosin said, flew around the world and coach in 5 days. Consecutive nights of sleeping on the plane, hours of driving from airports to gigs, time zones changing, food changing. I think all in, it was about 70 to 80 hours of flying for 4 gigs. Don't think I'll be able to do that again. And I think you must. Salem Music said, yes, it is tough physically and mentally, but I guess gratitude also refills your energy, I find. You really have to love what you do, or this is not for you. There's no other feeling like sharing your music with other people. And if you don't feel good from it, then yeah, this isn't for you. Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's so huge. Exactly. Woody Bangs the Drum said, having given ourselves accidental cabin fever on our first proper US tour, I would say leaving the venue even just for 30 minutes and seeing any landmark just to give yourself a sense of where you are, as well as a hit of vitamin D, can make a hell of a difference. Even if it's a park, coffee shop, a random statue, a crap little pond, just go and find something that you can cast your mind back to and associate with that place other than dressing room, stage, or random corridor. Holy shit, that is such a good point. Thank you for sharing that. Nicole Adkins, now replace arena with shitty apathetic clubs, bus with van, and include that fact that you come home after all that movement, travel, and being constantly surrounded by people and stimuli to an empty, quiet house, no schedule, no purpose really, till it's time to leave for tour again. The come down at home is the hard part. Still wouldn't trade it for the world. Holy shit. That's going to be a whole episode in itself. Thank you, Nicole Atkins, for sharing that. That is a whole nother, we need to talk a lot more about that. Taku Hirandu said, I got home after 18 months out with Fleetwood Mac, couldn't remember where things were in the kitchen cabinets, went to the movies for the first time, and instinctively looked for a seatbelt when I sat down. Oh my God. Also, straight from wrapping up the Australia leg of Fleetwood Mac, I flew Sydney to LA to Atlanta, where I was living at the time, came home for 12 hours to do laundry, then flew from Atlanta to Amsterdam and Doha for one-off shows with Lionel Richie. Also once wrapped the Cirque du Soleil Michael Jackson Immortal Tour in Barcelona, flew straight to New Jersey, cleared customs, and went straight into a progress rehearsals with John Mayer for a run of shows. Spent the flight from Spain to EWR learning the set. Good God, my friend. Okay. I hope you slept. Hope you slept good, man. India, Carney said, probably flying from LA to literal India. I believe you have to connect once to get there and back. Landing, coughing my way out of a voice because of the adjustment to the climate and air, and somehow sang the entire show a couple days later with severe laryngitis. Fly back to LA the next day. The stories we have are so wild. Few people can understand these things about what we endure and how we do it. And still, life goes on as we continue to persevere. Damn, dude, this is so cool. I love this community of people. These are the coolest stories that we're getting. Sam C version 1 said, just wrapped a 2-year, 100+ city run. The cycles of being on the road and only visiting home were wild. Broke away for a 72-hour pass to fly from Spain to LA to see my daughter graduate from high school. Then immediately flew back to FRA, trained in MUC, walked 2 blocks and got to the BTS bus back to it. Would do it again because it's literally the greatest experience on the planet. That is crazy. And man, good for you for seeing your daughter graduate high school. I mean, wow. Wow. You're making it happen. Iona FYFE said, did all this with debilitating fibromyalgia, dislocations, migraine, chronic pain, and fatigue. Being a musician with fibromyalgia is like all this, but 100 times worse. Yo. Yeah, man, this is crazy. Jonathan Lee Burlew said, one time I took an 11 p.m. flight from the West Coast on the 25th and landed in Tokyo on the 27th. A whole calendar day of my life that I never actually lived because I was time traveling through the air. Yo, that is crazy. You'll never live the 26th ever. How do you feel about that? Veronica Vitazkova said, and to make it a bit more interesting, I took my 1-year-old baby on tour with me. So the sleep deprivation from motherhood and touring mix it. Dude, okay, Veronica, I want to see some pictures. Please send them in. That's so cool. That baby's going to be the coolest kid ever. Adriana Malello said, working musicians too. Harder because I don't have a tour manager. Gosh, I have no idea what day it is most of the time or what time zone I'm in global time zone. Jeez. Marcel Soho said, 100% facts. This is why I struggle to find it like-minded people and friends and romantic relationships while I'm off because we are a different kind of breed. The mental toughness cannot be matched with outsiders. Man, I know. That's why like romantic partners of us crazy touring people, like it's a very, very special person. So shout out to all of the spouses of roadies, man. DS Sports Therapy said, agreed, but it's people like me who keep everyone going too. Tour life isn't all happy and luxury and good times like everyone else seems to think out there. It's nonstop and exhausting mentally and physically. And when you get home and sometimes feel like that mental struggle too of that rush, everything just stops. And again, we need to really talk about that quiet that you get post-tour. Thank you guys for sending in for comments and for sending in these questions. And I'm excited to hear how other people would answer these questions.